Sophia's. Yes, you're right that he started. He was kind of, he was a Zen provocateur in case of literature. All the fights that started in the world. And the first one being in 1936, just when he has landed in Agra, and even before he just landed in, sorry, Calcutta, and he writes for Viswabhati journal in English, and he's written two parts. Second part was yet to come, but the first part had created a storm in the Hindi world. And he says that Nirala is dead. Mind you, he is 25, and he's saying Nirala is dead. Literally, let's not talk about Nirala anymore. Then he's attacking everyone, he except the good brothers, whom he's very close to, Mahadevi Verma and all. He's kind, but he's dismissive. He's generally dismissive. That's his, he is. And then Hajari Prasad Dwivedi reminds him that, you know, in the word that he uses in that letter is, आपने ये काम शुरू किया है, आपकी बखिया उतरने वाली है or something, you know. And later on, there is a fascinating account of again meeting Nirala for the first time. After this happened many years later, Nirala looks at him, says, "Come have a drink with me" or something. I guess he used to have a drink and go. So yes, Agay started most of these fights. Agay loved it. Um, and as Ashok Bajpayee, I asked him, Ashok Bajpayee was doing the same to Agay as a 16-year-old. So the one way to look at it is, it's very simplistic, and that's one very easy way to make your name. Because, you know, after that Viswabhati journal article, everyone knew who Agay was. Mind you, this is even before Sekhar has come. What is his body of work by then? Few short stories, collection of poems which had come from Lahore while he was in jail. His brother had got it published. Frankly, nothing. But he has a more of a reputation of a revolutionary by then. 4 years in jail, published by Premchand, who gave him the name Agay. So he comes with a reputation, not a literary reputation. And that's how he establishes a literary reputation, then of course journalistic reputation, and then and if you look at it, then comes the period of Sekhar. Again, Sekhar, he gets viciously attacked by both left and right. Left is upset for the way he is portrayed. Lenin, right, of course, can't get over relationship with his own cousin. So Tar Saptak happens. Tar Saptak, he does something. He gets 5 leftists. If you look at the first out of 7, 5 are leftists, and there are some poems which were completely outraged right wing, and in the Sahitya Sammelan said ban it. And Purushottam Das Tandon, of all the people, came to the rescue. He said no, books should not be banned. Counter to bad book is better book, can't be banning the book. So Agay kept at it throughout, and he loved it. And from the other side, it's not that it was not happening. It's when you look at Namwat Singh, who taught here, before Nadi Kudwi comes into P2, he and Siddhant Singh Chauhan were reading leftist critique. They're exchanging letters saying, "Ek haath se kaam nahi chalega, do haath lagna padega." Because book has not even hit the market, and you're planning to kill it. You know, you're planning to so it was happening from both sides. In his youth, Agay loved taking on the other side, and he's fighting with Kedarnath Agarwal. Just look at his fights. He's fighting with even the people who, and that's kind of also explains Agay's larger problem with relationship with man or woman. See, Janendra is the one. Janendra takes care of him. Janendra takes his story to Premchand. Janendra becomes just too involved in his personal life, and later on the relationship cools out. Same with Nemi Chand Jain. Everyone, if you see, is kind of they've gone away from, and they've kind of distanced themselves. Last of the bright, the kind of big literary stars, Hindi literary stars, Raghbir Sahai, Sarveshwar Dayal Saxena. These are the two. Even they have distanced themselves, and like all messiahs, Agay has become a prophet by 70s, late 70s. And like all messiahs, prophet, he surrounds himself with yes men and very, very mediocre writers. and by then his people are fighting his battle. But yes, it's true that he started most of the fights. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. It gave him everything, and it also kind of see. And some of these fights were very genuine. For instance, when Tar Saptak comes, he can't get over the fact that why is it being attacked. And even when Sekhar comes, imagine Siddharth Singh Chauhan takes many years and he doesn't review Sekhar alone, he reviews it with Premchand's Godan. And it's a wrong way to review a book. He said, look at the Premchand, his societal concerns, and this man is so individualistic, selfish. So he's getting it. But very early on, he realizes that keeping quiet doesn't work. So you attack, you retaliate. But he never, then those fights never get personal, if you see, never gets personal. Second thing was how do I read the silences? Especially as you pointed out, shows you have read it very deep between the Snehlata's relationship. You know, there are lines. There's a lot between Snehlata and Agya. And how do you read those silences? For instance, once she says, "I will never talk about that particular incident." Yeah, we don't know what that incident was. She calls him grandpa, and somewhere you feel that she's competing with Snehlata. Sorry, Indumati. Indumati to seek his attention. She throws tantrums. She's very young. She says that when she falls ill in Lahore, he has to sit by her bedside and take care of her. She's constantly. But then beyond a point, I couldn't go. And I reached out to family. Again's niece, his favorite niece, lives in Dehradun. She's principal of LMs. But he just kind of, after a point, he said, Akshay, I'm not talking about this. So there is a kind of collective silence about some episodes of his life, and there was no one else I could talk to. The only person who knew this a lot was Nemi Chandra. Nemi Chandran was many much information, many more secrets of Agya was known to Nemi Chandran than probably anyone else. But Nemi Chandran also again with Agya and Nemi Chandran, they were not on great terms. Nemi Chandran was his kind of comrade in arms and to see from. So that also didn't happen. It was tough to read those silences, and I left it at that. Leave it to the reader because I couldn't extrapolate anything. You also know the sensitivity. It's a cousin, it's younger cousin. It's talking about things and it's alluding to so many things which doesn't mean anything. With at least this one, Indumati, things are clearer because the lovers are saying that if you want, first wife says I can even live with her. We can be a happy three people together. All that even Kripa says. So that is more clarity. Then now, well, you're saying I don't maintain the same tenor when it comes to Hindu writing. I kind of see, if you look at Agya's criticism of Hindutva, and one has to see him comprehensively. One of the most theses and one of the most comprehensive attack on Hindutva, if you see, is in the pages of Denman when he was the editor. One of the pieces he writes is that in a Rashtra hai na Swang hai na Sangh hai. And Hindutva ki paribhasa he writes a signed editorial in Denman. I don't think anyone can match up to that thing. And before he joins, goes for the BJP inaugural foundation in Bombay, he makes a very long speech in Gandhi Peace Foundation where he raises very serious questions about secularism. And most of these questions are not coming from someone who's on the other side of the ideological divide. No, so very genuine questions. If you look at Ashish Nandi's criticism of secularism, when he does his long thing, he and Romila Thapar are responding to each other. You find some of the questions are actually Ashish, and I've asked this Ashish Nandi. He says, I haven't come across a Hindi writer or anyone who could be so precise and could be so focused and such valid questions he raised. So I have to see him in that. Yes, this whole his quest for Indianness, stroke Hinduness takes him to all kinds of weird places. He makes him ritualistic. Throughout his till 60s, I only see him going to temples and monasteries where he's even writing poems in Europe in so many monasteries he wrote. There's a whole series of poems he wrote, Chakram Siddha. It's not ritualistic. It's his quest for culture which takes him to monasteries and mosques and other places. After mid 70s onwards, he's become ritualist. We can put it according to people who are very close to him. They said he had this fear of dying. He was very very unwell. He was a sickly child. If you see right from his, he always had some problem or the other. It could be as simple as that. Then his partner, then Hila, believed in many of these things. In fact, if you look at the papers, some of the boxes will completely, they're like all these tantric documents, which are not his, which are later on, I think, Hila put because Hila herself was going through a lot of cancer. So she was doing all that. So partly it was that, but yes, he had become ritualistic. He was doing Havan for long life, which he did in Bikaner. Uh, he was raising questions which were like everyone was asking those questions. What has happened to him? He attends a function about this disappearing Hindu women in Pakistan, which was done by RSS, Kiran Kani. So yet, but to, if Atya was alive today, I am sure, knowing his irreverent ways, you got in the first one to question a lot of things which I have to. So that's briefly my response to these questions. So any,
Thank you.